Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dugdha Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Geetamritam Mahat Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Namostu Devya Salishana Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yenatvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadyashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandhadami Bhagavad Gite Bhagadveshinim Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartakaha Keshavaha Yatpadam Bhoruhadhyana Vidhvasta Shesha Kalmashaha Vastutam Upayatoham Yamuneyam Namamitam Yati Paribrudho Yadgitanam Adarshaya Yadanjasa Nigama Parishanyeti Yamsam Niramayamashayam Janana Padaviyata Yatashramapaharam Diyam Janayatu Same Deva Shriman Dhananjaya Sarathihi. Namasadase, Namasabhaye. It is a matter of pride, a matter of a moment of Saubhagyam to have been invited by the Gita Jayanti Foundation and to be addressing such a large Astika population for the last 2 days. This is the third day, the last of the series. The topic that was circulated to all of you was Navamodhyayam, which is Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam. It comprises of 34 verses. Obviously, I will not be able to complete all the 34. Of course, there is a very corporate way of, wrapping up the remaining 20 plus shlokas in 1 hour. But that wouldn't serve anybody's purpose, nor the purpose of the speaker, nor the purpose of the listener. But I can assure you that somewhere during the course of my discourses across various Bharatiya cities and outside Bharata, I will be able to complete the remaining verses and they will all be shared on Navina Sanjaya, who is YouTube. Because that serves as, wherever it happens, it gives us this darshan of what Sanjaya gave to Dhritarashtra. That said, we began with the introduction stating that chapter 1 to chapter 6 comprises Jnana and Karma Yoga. Chapter 7 to chapter 12 talks about Bhakti Yoga. And the doubts that arise in the due course of detailing on the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga from chapter 1 to chapter 12 is answered by Krishna to the questions as raised by Arjuna between chapter 13 and chapter 18. Swadharma, Jnana, Vairagya, Sadhya Bhakti Eka Gocharaha. Narayanaha Param Brahma Gita Shastre Samiritaha is the Gita Sangraha Shloka by a veteran Acharya called Yamuna Acharya. Yamuneyam Namamitam Namo Namo Yamunaya Yamunaya Namo Namaha Namo Namo Yamunaya Yamunaya Namo Namaha, says the invocatory verse that seeks the benign blessings of this Acharya. That said, the introduction was Upasaka Bheda Nibandhana. Some of you, a handful of you, may have come for the day 3 lecture alone. So for the benefit of those who may have missed the day 1 and day 2 lectures, Bhakti Yoga is also called Upasana or Sadhana. Upasaka Bheda Nibandhana Visheshaha Pratipaditaha. The greatness of Bhakti Yoga or Upasana was discussed in chapter 7 and chapter 8. Hey Arjuna, in this chapter, Idani Upasasya Paramapurushasya Mahatmyam. So you do Bhakti Yoga towards the Paramapurusha. That Paramapurusha's greatness, Jnaninam Vishesham. Jnaninam Vishesham is the greatness of Jnani. Jnani here means the one who focuses on Paramatma Sakshatkaram. Krishna has already described in the previous chapter. Chaturvida bhajante mam janaha sukritinurjunaha artaha jignasur artharti jnanicha bharatarishava. Artharti and artaha, they are called Aishwarya Kamanishta. Jignasu is Atma, Jivatma Sakshatkara Nishta, Kaivalya Kamanishta. Whereas Jnani is Paramatma Sakshatkara Nishta, the one who loves to get the Sakshatkara of Paramatma. That Jnaninam Visheshaha Cha Vishodhya Bhakti Rupasya Upasanasya Swarupam Uchyate. In this chapter, the Swarupam, the nature, the inherent characteristics of Bhakti Yoga is also discussed, was the introduction. First shloka, Idam tute guhyatamam prabhakshyam yanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Idam tu, that which is superior. Which one? Bhakti Yoga. Superior to what? Sir, can you be a bit slow? See, this is recap number 2. Okay, I have to be a bit fast. See, generally you play these WhatsApp messages at 2x speed, right? If people are very slow speakers, you don't want to listen at the same pace at which they talk. So there is this 2x option which is given. So I am going in that 2x. Idam tu guhyatamam. That which I am going to reveal to you as Bhakti Yoga, Arjuna, guhyatamam. It is a secret, but it is just not the secret, the best among secrets. What is that word which describes the word best? Very good. Tamam. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami. I am going to tell you in detail. Anasuyave. Hey Arjuna, who is bereft of jealousy. Jnanam. Jnanam? Bhakti Yogam. Vijnana Sahitam. Along with the salient features of Bhakti, Yajñatva. Hey Arjuna, you just don't listen, you also ensure that you practice. You bring it to Anushtanam. So, mokshase, that which will help you get moksham by ashubhat, papam, punyam, which is together called as ashubhat, will be removed. He says in first shloka. Then he continues, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyaksha Bhagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. This is the king among secrets. This is the king amongst knowledge streams. Pavitram, it is a purifier in itself. Uttamam, it is the best as well. Pratyaksha-vagamam, that which you see, avagamam, the stream of knowledge. Then he continues, dharmyam susukham. Dharmyam, it leads you to the paramapurushartha called moksha. There are 4 purusharthas. Today this question was asked by one of the Astika students in the morning youth session. Around 11:30 was this question asked. What are the 4 purusharthas? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Though all the 4 are referred to as purusharthas, Acharyas treat moksham as Parama Purushartha. Bhattatri Narayaniyam says, Sandrananda Vabodhatmakamanupamitam Kaladesha Bhadivyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigama Shatasahasreda Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Dristamatre Punaha Urupurusharthatmakam Brahmatattvam Tattavad Bhati Sakshat Guru Pavanapure Hantabhagyam Jananam. So moksham is Parama Purushartham. In the Tamil language, Thiruvalluvar calls it Veedu. Have you heard of this Veedu? We are coming from our house. Veedu means moksha. So certain houses will be in such a state that you will desire moksha when you live in that house. So that is also another way of interpreting it. Dharmyam susukham, that which will ensure happiness. Avyayam, that which is not perishable. Imperishable is avyayam. Next shloka. Now Krishna has to alert Arjuna. See, when there is a lecture going in a certain pace and say it lacks a certain genre of articulation, there are chances that the listener can doze off. So that is why if you see, I will come to the mic and raise my voice because I may be seeing two people just going like this. You won't realize, but I know who's dozing off. So when I get closer, they immediately raise. Because the person who generally handles the audio console will think that I am unaware of the nuances of speaking on the mic, but they don't realize why I am doing that. So, ashraddhanaha purusha, to ensure that Arjuna is alert, now Krishna tells the contrary view. He says there are certain people who will never practice Bhakti Yoga, Arjuna. They are very happy to stay in this world to witness two countries fighting and what is happening in different seas. So he says, ashraddhanaha purusha, those who lack shraddha, dharmasya asya parantapa, they will never seek Bhakti Yoga or Upasana as the means, upayam to reach me. Parantapa, hey Parantapa, every now and then, see, the biggest motivational speaker known till date was Krishna. Every now and then he'll keep on telling. So if parents have to use such cliched words today, I can absolutely. The mother is talking to the son, don't think it's some professional talk. You're extremely talented. I know you can do it. I'm sure in the 1960s or 70s you would have never heard a single word of this from your parents. Right? But today everything is about motivation. You have to keep telling, even if the child is not doing very well, I know you have the ability to do it. I'm sure, I'm absolutely sure you can do it. So even if the child lacks the confidence, the mother and the father have to keep doing it. Where do we get this? It is in our DNA. Where DNA? Krishna tells us. Every shloka he'll say, Parantapa, Anasuya, Partha, Kaunteya. Then only that man will listen. He has asked a volley of questions, but it is on the onus is on the speaker to make the audience attentive, right? So every now and then he'll say, Parantapa, the one who is repository of all austerities, listen. Then only Arjuna will listen. Aprapyama nivartante. Arjuna, those who do not listen, I'm not talking about you, because Arjuna will feel as if you're pointing towards him, right? Generally in family discussions, if you bring some negative topics, so then Krishna has to remind, no, I'm not telling you, Arjuna. Those who lack Shraddha. Then Arjuna asked, do I have Shraddha? You have Shraddha. That is why you've been listening all along. So listen. Aprapyama nivartante. Those who do not practice Bhakti Yogam, nivartante, nitaram vartante. They will stay in this very material world. Mrityu samsara vartmani. They will get into this vicious circle of birth and death and birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Complete. Generally, my Acharya used to state, when we say those words, Mudhamati, we have to point the fingers to ourselves. Mudhamate. Because Adi Shankara is looking at us and telling Mudhamate. He is not using the words for himself. He knows we have to sing that. So he says, Mudhamate. Fourth shloka. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina idam sarvam jagat. This world, which is a combination or a concoction of Chetana and Achetana. You remember? Between 7:15 and 7:30 yesterday I discussed about Mysore Pak, Dharmijnanam, Dharmabhuta Jnanam, Chaitanyam. Dharmijnanam has only one function, to keep telling, I Dharma Bhuta Jnanam gets activated when one of the Jnanendriyas comes in contact with the object of discussion. Then that Jnanam attains a certain level of spirit. So that is called Dharma Bhuta Jnanam. That which is the substratum to Dharma Bhuta Jnanam is Chetana. That which is not is Achetana. Now, I'll just go 2 lines extra and then I'll come back to the verse. See, Chetana means the Jivatma. Of course, Krishna doesn't discuss where the Jivatma is, and we have Agama texts, we have various Samhitas that talk clearly about where the Jivatma is. It says it is very close to the diaphragm. And what is the size of Jivatma? Vedas go to the extent of determining the size. It says Shatadha, Shatadha, Shatadha. If you take one strand of hair from the cow's tail, don't take, the Vedas say. So you take one strand, divided it into 100 equal parts. So one part is 1 by 100. Take that part and divide it into 100, further divide it into 100. So you get 1 by 100 by 100, which is 1 by 10 power 4, which is 10 power minus 4 if it goes to the numerator. Then you divide one more part of it into 100. So you get 10 power minus 6. That is the level of Jivatma, says Upanishad. Shatadha, Shatadha, Shatadha. Even if you are alert, when the bypass happens, you can never see the Jivatma. That is the implication. So this Jivatma has Paramatma in it. That is why Purandaradasa says, Anoraniyana Mahato Mahiyana Aprameyana Adisidalu Yashode Jagado Buddharana Idam Sarvam Jagat. That Jivatma is Chetana. What is Achetana? Say something. At least say something. That is Achetana. That something is Achetana. This is Achetana. So this body, remember, the material body that we all possess is Achetana. But it seems as if it is Chetana because of the Jivatma, which is Chetana Vastu, which is present inside it. So this Chetana Jivatma activates the Achetana body. Correct? This is Achetana, there is no doubt. But remember, Shastram says, there is a Jivatma in this as well. Note that down. Anything that has Namam and Rupam, Nama Rupa Karavani, whichever has Namam and Rupam will have a Jivatma. Sir, if you say that there is a Jivatma inside your material body, understandable. Where is the Jivatma in it? That is why the word used is, the Jivatma will not be in it, like how it is inside us. It is stuck to its periphery. Somewhere it will be stuck. So if that Jivatma is stuck to this Achetana Vastu, why doesn't it get activated like our material body? Because this is not Pancha Bhautika Shariram. It neither has Sattva, Rajo or Tamo Gunam. Only when there is Gunam, that will get activated. This is neither Pancha Bhautikam, nor does it have one or more of the 3 Gunas. So there is a Jivatma stuck. Why should it get stuck? See, when the Jivatma leaves the gross body, which is the Sthula Shariram, our understanding is there are 2 parts. When the Jivatma exits this material body, it has 2 parts. Either it can go to a state from which there is no birth. Second part is it can have another birth. When we say it can have another birth, it doesn't necessarily mean the birth will happen immediately. There is a waiting period. You know, in Bharatadesham, we have something called as wait list in IRCTC. When there is a wait list, it means that you don't have a confirmed seat. Then there is an intermediate stage like green card of the US that is called RAC. You can sit somewhere, you don't know where. Only when you get a confirmed seat, you know that is your seat. That seat is like the body. So the Jivatma that sits on that body has a confirmed body. RAC is the transmigratory position from wait list to that seat. That wait list is the Jivatma stuck to this Achetana Vastu. It doesn't seem activated because this body doesn't support the activation of the Jivatma. You're able to get the problem? So when we distribute this entire hall, the walls, all this is Achetanam. Even our bodies are Achetanam. But there is a Chetanam inside us. So all the Chetanams one side, Achetanams one side, both together constitutes the body of Paramatma, whose Atma is Paramatma. We are planning to leave, sir. So, Maya Tadam Idam Sarvam Jagat. Idam Sarvam Jagat that has Chetana and Achetana. Avyakta Murtina. Avyakta Murti denotes the Atma Tattvam there. Matsthani Sarva Bhutani. Matsthani Sarva Bhutani. Hey Arjuna, whatever I have described till now as Chetana and Achetana are under me. Nacha aham nateshu avasthitaha. But I am not inside them. Arjuna started scratching his head. And Krishna said, don't worry, I will clear this doubt in the next shloka. Nacha matsthani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. Nacha matsthani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. What Krishna means by telling that I am not in them is, I am not in them in the same way that they are in me. I'll go and use one example. In Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam, there is one nama which goes like this, Ajaha. Have you heard of this word, Ajaha? In normal Nigantu or Amarakosham, one meaning for Ajaha is good. Ajaha means good. The other meaning is Brahma. So, whether Brahma likes it or not, he shares a name with the goat. So, if I say Ajaha, then both the goat and Brahma can come. That is when Vedam differentiates. Vedam says, if you say Ajaha, then it means goat. Ajaha, then it means Brahma. So, both of them will be waiting to hear where I stress. If I go down, it is goat. If I go up, it is Brahma. That is one meaning. Jakare, ja generally denotes birth. Ja in Sanskritam denotes birth. It will be associated with birth. The one who births us, the one who gives us birth, mother, Janani. The one who is responsible for our birth, father, Janaka. Janani, Janaka. Birth, Janma. Cycle of birth and death, Jani. Janani, Janaka, Janma, Jani. Next, Ja for Pullinga, Ja for Strilingam. For example, the one who is born of lotus, Sarasija. The one who is born from the milky waters, Kshiraja. The one who is born from Mother Earth, Avanija. Hair is born from the scalp, head, right? So it is called Murdhaja. That is feminine. Ja. Jamadagnija. Have you heard of this? Jamadagnija Garva Khandana. Jamadagni son. Jamadagnija. Janaka's daughter, Janakaja. So Ja, Ja, Janma, Janani, Jani, they are all associated with birth. So Ja denotes birth. So birth or born is Ja. Aja means unborn. So Aja means unborn. Now what is the name given to Paramatma? Ajaha. So what does Ajaha denote? Parashara Bhatta, the commentator in his famed commentary, Bhagavad Guna Darpanam says, Ajaha means Narasimha. That avatara of the Lord whose Nisimha is Ajaha. How? Ajaha, whose Nisimha, arose or emerged from the pillar. What is pillar? Achetanam. See, when we ask someone, whose son are you? They will tell their mother or father's name. Imagine the person says, I was born from the pillar. Come again? Pillar. What pillar? Because pillar is Achetanam, that will to a Chetanam. But in Narasimha Avataram, the reverse happened. The impossible happened. So the pillar, Achetanam, gave rise to a Paramachetana Vastu called Nrisimha. So Ajaha means unborn. How do we interpret it? The Acharya says, unborn here means the one who is not born like any of us, so he is unborn. So unborn's interpretation is not essentially unborn. The one who is not born like any of us. So Krishna now says, everything is under me. Then he says, I am not in any of them. Then he tells in the next shloka, I am inside them. But I am inside them, not in the same way that they are with me. I don't want to go any further into this. If you have not understood, subsequently you will understand. Now, Nachamatstani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. Then Arjuna asked, Krishna, then have you pervaded in us? Yes. How did you get inside us? Suppose you are inside the hall. Somebody will ask you, how did you get inside the hall? Then you will show, oh, there is an entry point. So I came through that. So you need an entry point to get inside some vastu. Let's say there is air that has filled a balloon. There will be an opening where you blow. So here it is essentially, Krishna says, I have pervaded everyone. Then Arjuna will wonder, how did you get inside them? Krishna says, I never got inside anybody. I am always there. Arjuna wonders, how did you not have an entry or an exit? And how did you get inside them? That is when Krishna says, Pashyame Yogamaishwaram. This is my Sankalpa Shakti, Arjuna. Bhuta Brinnacha Bhutasto Mamatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. I support the entire universe. Mama Atma, my will, Sankalpam. You remember I gave an example of Paramatma walking up the stairs, the 11th step coming, that is the divine will, Sankalpam, at about 8 o'clock yesterday. So, he says, Bhuta Bhrinnacha Bhutasto Mamatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. That is when Arjuna asks, if you say that you pervade everywhere, as air pervades Akasham, right, Krishna? That is when Krishna says, this example is slightly flawed, Arjuna, because Akasham as a Panchabhuta itself is Niralambanam. Niralambanam is supportless. See, we say this is space. Who supports space? We don't know. Space is supporting itself. Inside the space, air has pervaded. And in that air, a flight or a bird flies. Now, what holds the bird together? Neither the air nor the space. It is the Antaratma to the Jivatma inside the bird that holds the bird. The moment that Antaratma decides that this Jivatma has to exit the material body of the bird, even if there is space and even if there is air that has pervaded that space, it cannot hold the bird together. He says, Yatha akashasthito nityam vayuhu sarvatrago mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani tyupadharaya sarvatrago mahan. As he says this, then, see, I'll give you a very, in my opinion, it is a simple example. Generally, when we give discourses on Srimad Ramayanam, we have heard people exaggerate the abilities of many patrams. They will say Rama has these qualities, Sita had these qualities, and when it comes to Hanuman, we get doubly excited. He is extremely dear to all of us. But we go to the extent of telling that Hanuman had the ability to fly, levitate, jump, correct? But as per our acharyas, Hanuman did not have the ability to jump. It is Rama's Anguliyakam, Paramatma Rama's Anguliyakam, that ring that gave the ability for him to go from Bharatadesham to Lanka. Immediately you will counter me, no sir, he is Vayuputra. So what? Vayuputra will not give the effect. For example, let's take it this way. There is an Olympic champion, he runs very well. Does it mean his son will also run as fast as him? Not necessarily. It was a Rama Bhakti that gave Hanuman the ability to move from one desham to the other. You should never attribute to his talent, because he says, I don't have the talent, I have Rama Bhakti. Like how Hanuman was able to levitate or fly or move from one geography to the other, same Krishna says, Sarvatrago Mahan. It is not Vayu or Akasham that makes something fly. It is the Antaratma to it which makes it fly. Next shlokam, he says, 7th shloka. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamika. Again, earnest request. Some of you may have not come yesterday. I am only revising. Till now 30 minutes over. Revision itself is taking so long. So, I am going at a certain pace. When it comes to the shlokas, I will go at a pace which is quite comprehensible and enjoyable to all of you. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrjamyaham. Here Krishna talks about dissolution, layam. See, if you have listened to Bhagavad Gita and you have tried to elevate your understanding of the quintessential knowledge in Sanatana Dharma, do not try avoiding the word destruction. Sanatana Dharma doesn't agree with the word destruction. We only have dissolution, layam. Similarly, in the forthcoming shlokas I'll tell you, generally the Western world sees Hinduism as a polytheistic religion. But we are not polytheistic. We are polymorphic, not polytheistic. I'll tell you the meaning of that subsequently. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye. He talks about kalpakshaye, which is dissolution. Kalpa, you remember yesterday I spoke about Brahma, his lifetime, the end of his lifetime, the end of 1000 Chaturyugas leading to Kalpa. Kalpakshaye, that time where the Kalpam gets over, which is dissolution. Why should somebody talk about dissolution first? See, whenever we talk about creation, sustenance and dissolution, you will want to begin with creation. Why will you talk about dissolution first? See, the reason why we talk is very, very interesting. Sanatana Dharma believes that time and events are cyclic in nature. We don't believe in linearity of life. We don't say we are born, we are living, we are dead and we are gone forever. We are dead, then we are living. We are born, we are living, we are dead and we are born again. So it is cyclic. How will you prove something is cyclic? See, imagine I go to somebody's house. There is a linear way of describing. This morning I got up, I cooked, I ate and I slept. This is the linear way of telling. There is a cyclic way of telling. This morning I got up and washed the utensils of the previous night. Which means yesterday also they were cooking in that house. So we begin with dissolution first and then go to creation. We begin with Sankarshana and then go to Aniruddha. So here, Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punaha Tani Kalpadau Visrjamyaham. When the dissolution happens, at that point in time, Visrjamyaham, Visrjami, the creation begins. That is where Krishna goes to the 8th verse. Prakritim swam avashtabhya visrijami punah punaha bhutagramamimam kritsnam avasham prakriter vashat. He talks in detail about the order of achetana. That was a bit confusing yesterday. Moola prakriti, mahat, ahankaram, panchabhutam, panchatanmatram, panchajnanendriyam, panchakarmendriyam and manas. 24. You remember? Prakriti, Moola Prakriti. Then from Moola Prakriti, Mahat. Then Ahankaram. Ahankaram comes in combination with Sattva, Rajo, Tamo Gunam. Then you get Sattvika Ahankaram, Rajasa Ahankaram, Tamasa Ahankaram. That leads to the birth of Panchabhutam, Panchatanmatram, Panchajnanendriyam, Panchakarmendriyam and Manas. 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1. 24. In this 24, Krishna says Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankaram, 3 and Panchatanmatram, 3 plus 5, 8. Arjuna, this comes in the order first. Avashtabhya. Avashtabhya is Ashtabhya. That 8 he describes. Visrijami punah punaha. Bhutagramam. That is when we spoke about two kinds of srishti. Samashti and Vyashti. Samashti is Advaraka Srishti. Vyashti is Sadvaraka Srishti. Samashti is Advaraka because Brahma is not involved. Vyashti is Sadvaraka Srishti, where Brahma is involved. So in this, he describes how Deva, Manushya, Tiryak is also created. Bhutagramam imam kritsnam avasham prakriter vashat. Next shloka, Arjuna asks, now that you have created either directly and or through Brahma, this world that I see, Krishna, has a lot of heterogeneity. There is disparity in this world. Won't disparity give you the dosham of partiality? Yesterday you remember I spoke about two gunams. Vaishamyam, Nairghrinyam. Vaishamyam is partiality. Nairghrinyam is mercilessness. To that Krishna answers, Nachamam tani karmani nibaddhananti dhananjaya udasina vadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Because, hey Arjuna, that partiality dosham will not come to me, because in this creation, the difference that you see in the bodies, one is dark, one is fair, one is brown, one is yellow, one is short, one is tall, one is obese, one is thin, one is very knowledgeable, the other is not. This disparity is not caused by me, but because of the Purva Janma karma acquired by the Jivatma. Udasina avadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. That is when I have stopped till here. Have I covered the 10th shloka? Mayadhyakshen. Now we are going to begin today's lecture. So 36 minutes, Purva Pidika, day 1 and day 2 summary. 10th shloka. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Suyate sacharacharam Hetunanena kaunteya Jagadhif parivartate. So the commentary goes like this. Tasmat kshetrajna karmanugunam madiya. Kshetrajna. If you have been listening to Gita lectures, you will come across this word right from chapter 2. Sankhya Yogam itself, you will get this word kshetrajna. Kshetrajna denotes the Jivatma in the Pancha Bhautika Shariram. Remember, Jivatma can do no karma without a body. Body is extremely important. That is why when Bhuma Devi asks Varaha, in Varaha Purana, Varaha says, Sthite manasi susvasthe sharire. So shariram is extremely important. Paropakarartham idam shariram. This body is meant for service to others, and only through sadhanam. If you want to do actions, you need the body. Jivatma cannot get activated without a body. That is why 15 minutes back I said, even in an achetanam, a Jivatma is there. It won't pervade or permeate. It will be stuck to its periphery. Will that act? No. Because this material that you see is unlike the material of our material body. It is not conducive for the Jivatma to get activated. So it needs a Pancha Bhautika Shariram. Have you heard of this word Pancha Bhautika Shariram? Bhuta means element. What are the Panchabhutas? Akashat Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha, Adbhyav Prithvi. Yesterday we discussed these 5 Panchabhutas. Our body is believed to be a judicious concoction of all the 5. But that may vary. In some bodies, the fire element will be more. In some bodies, the Vayu element will be more. In some bodies, the water element will be more. If you go to an Ayurvedic doctor, the first diagnosis a good Ayurvedic doctor will do is to check what kind of body we have. It may not be good, that body, but still he has to check whether it is Kapham, Vatam or Pittam. For some bodies, the Ayurvedic doctor will advise, do not take products made from sesame, which is yellow, gingerly. Certain bodies should avoid vegetables like the raw banana. In Tamil we call it Vazhakkai because it is Vayu. In certain bodies you should take less of milk products, they'll say. That is why Ayurveda Shastram says, avoid taking milk in solid form. Make it into buttermilk and consume. So in the olden days they used to say, Tairai periki, palai kurukki you should have. milk should always be boiled in such a way that the water content escapes and it should look very thick. Curd, on the other hand, should become very loose like buttermilk. Then only there will be a homeostasis, an equilibrium in your body of kapham, vatam and pittam. Why do these attack? Because this body is a concoction of pancha bhautikam. The pancha bhutas are there in the body. Who explains this to us? Eno advertisement. If you see, they will show the stomach with Agni. Have you seen? So they say, that is why they say, Kannada bhashali heduvaga hotte uri. So we say that Agni is inside the Vaidya itself. We believe that Agni Devata is there inside us. You know, we have often heard this very elementary anecdote. The boy was suffering from severe stomachache. He went and told his mother, Mata, I am suffering from intense stomach pain. The mother said, you have not had anything since morning. Your stomach is empty. Because your stomach is empty, you are having stomach ache. Mama, then why does Papa get headache? So going by the same formula, Papa should not have anything inside his head. So the mother will never say such abusive words. She will say, Papa has Akasham within his head. Panchabhutas, Akasham means space. There is so much of space inside that head. There is no element inside. That is Akasham. Right? Then there is Agni, Pancha Bhautika Shariram. So, Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi. Tasmat Kshetrajna Karmanugunam Madiya Prakritihi Satya Sankalpena Maya Adhyakshena Ikshita Sacharacharam Jagat Suyate. Anina Kshetrajna Karmanugunam Adhikshanena Hetuna Jagat Viparivattate Iti Matswamyam Matsankalpatvam Nairgranyadi Dosha Rahitatvam Ittevamadikam Mama Vasudeva Sunoho Aishwaram Yogam Pashya Yathashruti Asman Mayi Sirajade Vishwametat Tasmin Shwanyo Mayaya Sanniruddha Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyat Mayam tu Maheshwaram Iti. This is the explanation given for this verse. Now, as Arjuna asked, because Krishna has excused himself very intelligently in the previous verse. He says the entire creation is mine. Then Arjuna asks, why did I see the disparity? He says karmanugunam. Then Arjuna asks, who controls karma? You are able to get the sequence. Krishna says, because of Purva Janma karma, you see the differences in the bodies. Then Arjuna asks, under whose jurisdiction karma comes? Krishna says, karma dhyakshaha sarva bhutadivasaha. I am the one who controls karma. So ultimately, if we say that karma leads to this body, then karma comes under the jurisdiction of Paramatma. Indirectly, Paramatma becomes responsible for our body is the implication. So he says, Sosya dhyakshaha parame vyoman dhyayate dhyasita tena. Now, he uses the word intelligently, Krishna, Maya, adhyakshena. Have you heard of this word adhyaksha? In Sanskritam, adhyaksha means supervisor, chief. I'm sure, I don't know about the nuances of the Singapore education system, but those of the Astikas who have grown up in the Bharata Desham of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you will remember that we used to have 3 sets of examination: quarterly, half-yearly, annual. This is like dharma, artha, kamam. By the time, then they will decide whether you will get moksham or not from this class to the other. Or if you want to do punaha avartate, which means you have to study this class well, they'll make you stay in that class itself. That is another, where it is called avriti shabdat. See, whenever you do havan, you don't use different mantras. You do sankalpam stating that this is Mahasudarshana Homam. I will repeat this mantram 108 times. Om Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Janavallabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Paramatmane Parakarma Mantra Yantra Ushara Astra Shastrani Vattaya Samhara. Then we finish Jajvalyamana Bhum Bhat Swaha. You do that. Then you repeat it 108 times. It's called Avriti. You keep on repeating. So if the school decides that you have to study that class again and again, it is called Avriti. If you clear that annual, then you will go to the next class. It is Satyam, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, or Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. You will go one lokam after the other. So what happens is, in this Adhyakshena, we used to give those exams. There will be something, some of you who have studied here will not know this. There will be something called main sheet. They will give one main sheet. By this time you complete one page, My neighbor will say, additional sheet, madam. Yo, I have nothing to write in the main sheet itself. What are you writing in that additional sheet? We used to have those 10-mark questions. Describe Aurangzeb. For writing that answer itself, we will not get moksha. Just that answer will merit no moksha for us. We have to write it in 200 words. What will we write? That is where there are two important grammatical aspects called active voice and passive voice. We will write one line. The same line will come in passive voice. So we will keep on repeating that and we will finish and we will get good marks. That is the beauty. So the point is, Adhyaksha means there will be an invigilator. Have you heard of this word in the class? There will be one teacher who will be invigilating. She will be going around. And then finally she will catch one boy because he will be having bit. I think children here are very honest. Have you heard of bit paper? No. If you have not heard, don't worry, you will get moksha. But now, in Bharatadesham, there was a concept of bit paper where the child was inadvertently trying to get the Upadesham from the book. He didn't mean to copy. So you take that bit paper. Now the Adhyaksha will catch this boy. No school in its senses will punish the invigilator because the invigilator has laid the rules very clearly. It is up to the boy to not copy. Similarly, Krishna says, it is your karma that causes your body. Don't throw the heterogeneity of the body differences on me. I am just the supervisor. Maya adhyakshena prakritihi suyate. Prakriti is mula prakriti. Suyate, I create. Sa characharam. Chara, achara. Both I create. Hetuna anena kaunteya. Hetuna, then he uses the word Hetuna anena kaunteya. Hey Kunti's son. Like how you are Kunti's son, you will be able to understand it, Krishna, Arjuna. Vasudeva sunoho. I am also the son of Vasudeva. Why should he use the word Kunti? Because Kunti was earlier called, yesterday I said, stand up on the bench, Pritha. Right? So Pritha was called Kunti. Pritha had a brother called Vasudeva. Vasudeva sunoho. Vasudevasya puman Vasudevaha. Vasudeva's son is Vasudeva Krishna. So for Krishna, Arjuna is his aunt's son. For Arjuna, Krishna is his uncle's son. See, English is a great Advaitic language. Because your father's elder brother, younger brother, mother's elder brother, younger brother, they are all called by Eka Shabdam, uncle. Okay. Same is the case with aunt. Whereas in Bharatadesham, you will have Periyappa, Chittappa, Atte, Attimper, Attanga, Ammanji, all this put together, Rennacharya and Martinacharya taught. Why should we have so many relatives? Let us all bring one word uncle together. That uncle will comprise everything in it. But here, Arjuna is Krishna's Attai's son. So the technical term, let's say in the Tamil language, is Attan, Attai's son. On the other hand, Krishna is Vasudeva, Mama's son. In Tamil, if you take the correct meaning of Mama, it means uncle. So, Mama's son is Krishna. So, Krishna intelligently uses the word Kaunteya, telling like how you are related to Kunti, thereby to my father and thereby me. This entire creation, Arjuna, Sacharacharam Suyate, Jagadhiv Parivartate. It keeps on, Parivartate, it keeps on getting created. Pashyame Yogameshwaram, for which he quotes one Upanishadic Vakyam from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. He says, Asmanmayi srijate vishvam yetat tasmin chanyo mayaya sanniruddha mayam tu prakritim vidyat mayinam tu maheshwaram ityartaha. So, I have completed chapter 10. Out of how many verses? 34. So, verse 1 to verse 10 in chapter 9 talks about the greatness of Paramatma, Swamahatmyam. Now we are going to go to chapter 11. From chapter 11 it is very easy. Take a breath, it's very easy. Okay, sorry, verse 11 it is very easy. Avajananti mam mudha that dha, even if one or two droplets from your mouth comes on me, it's okay. You should stress. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram evam mam bhuta maheshwaram sarvajñam satyasankalpam nikhila jagadeka karanam. This is a very interesting word in Sanskrit. See, he says nikhila jagadeka karanam. Nikhila. Have you heard of this word nikhila? What does nikhila mean? Nikhila ante emi? Telugu astikalu unnara ikkada? What is nikhila? Endukante Telugu bhashalo oka shabdam undi nikhila. What does nikhila mean? Everything, sampurna, everything. Sakala, akhila, same thing. Akhila, sakala, nikhila. Correct. All three are the same. Interestingly, as a bhasha, Sanskritam will have subtle differences between the three. See, if I have asked, any Krishnan here? Anybody with the name Krishna, Krishnan, Krishna, Krishna, Sri Krishna? It's okay. Now if I ask, has Krishna come? Then the person with that name will say, yes, I have come. Then he will see another person, oh, he is also Krishna, he has come. When I say, has Krishna come? And 3 or 4 people raise your hand, it means in the group, listen to this carefully, in the group of people who were interested to come for Bhagavad Gita lecture, of the 400 people, 3-4 people were called Krishna, and those Krishnas in the group of 400 who were interested to come to the Bhagavad Gita lecture have come. Then the word is Sakala. If I ask, have Akhila Krishnas come? That means that person who has the name Krishna in the entire universe, how many ever Krishnas are there, they should have come. So Sakala is set A. Akhila is universal set. So set A is subset to universal set. So Sakala is subset to the word Akhila. So Sakala we have understood. Akhila, universal set, we have understood. What is this Nikhila? Akhila and Nikhila are the same. Then why should we have 2 words? So the rule in Sanskritam is, when you begin a verse, you should try beginning as much as possible with the letter A. Akarartho Vishnuhu. So if you want to begin the verse and you want to deploy the word, use Akhila. But if you want to use the same meaning in the middle of the sentence, then you may use Nikhila. You're able to get the difference? Now, Nikhila jagadeka karanam paramakarunikataya sarva samashrayaniyatvaya manushim tanum ashritam svakritaihi papa karmabihi mudha avajananti prakrita manusha samammanyate bhutamaheshwarasya mama apara karunya audarya saushilya vatsalyadi nibandhanam manushyatva samashrayana rakshanam imam param bhavamajanantaha manushyatva samashrayana matrena mam idara sajatiyam matva tiraskurvanti ityartaha. Now Krishna intelligently uses the word sajatiyam. I'll explain that concept and then get into this shloka. There are 3 words that you need to understand. Sajatiyam, vijatiyam, okay? Sajati, vijati and swagata bhedam. 3 words. Sajati, vijati, swagata bhedam. Jati. Sir, you are a politician, sir. Why do you keep talking about jati? I am not talking about that jati, whatever great politicians keep on taking the constitution book and going, not that jati. The jati here refers to a community with similar features. Let us take for example, there is a neem tree and there is a mango tree. Both are trees, correct? The difference will be subtle. One is a neem tree, the other is a mango tree. But both belong to the large called trees. So it is sajatiyam. Sajatiya means of the same jati. So if I compare a neem tree and a mango tree, there will be differences. The leaves of the neem tree will be bitter compared to the leaves of that of a mango tree. Mango tree may give rise to a fruit called a mango, which is extremely sweet, or probably used to be sweet. Now a neem tree may give rise to a certain other things which are not comparable to the products of a mango tree. But the mango tree and neem tree finally come under one larger category called trees. So it is called Sajatiyam. Imagine I am standing under the shade of a mango tree. So there are two elements here, the mango tree and me. Are we of the same category? No. I am of the Manushya category, that is of the tree category. So in biology you must be studying binomial nomenclature. There is something called the kingdom. There is something called the species. There is something called the genus. There is something called the phylum. You must be studying about phylum, Coelenterata, Annelida, Arthropoda, Vada, Poda, then you will have one genus, species. All this you will study as by, what is the cockroach called? Periplaneta americana, that is the namakaranam given by the acharyas for the cockroach. Rana hexa dactyla, naja naja, corif chlorophytum burivilianum. Then turmeric is called as curcumin lungasta. These are all the names that are given. This is binomial nomenclature. That is where you put them into buckets, like how you do it in Six Sigma. So if I stand under the shade of a tree, I am different from the tree. So Vijatiyam, of different jatis. Neem tree and mango tree, Sajatiyam. Now let's take only the mango tree. So there is the root, there is the trunk, and the trunk branches into thick branches, and those thick branches branch into thinner branches. There are leaves that come out, there are sprouts that come out, there are buds that come out, there are flowers that come out. Those flowers become fruits, and that is how we see the entire tree. Is the fruit the same as the leaf? No. Is the leaf the same as the branch? No. Is the branch the same as the trunk? No. Is the trunk the same as the root? No. It is one vastu, eka vastu. But in that one vastu, there are differentiating factors. It is called Swagata Bhedam. So Swagata Bhedam. Now why does Krishna use this? He says that is Chetana the same as Achetana? No. Chetana is different from Achetana. If you want, only if our actions are like Achetana, they use abusive words. I don't know if you speak Tamil, they will say Maram Manda. So Maram doesn't react. You are also not intelligent enough. Maybe you are the tree, you are that Achetana, Maram Manda. So they compare, right? So generally Achetanam is different from Chetanam. So there is Swagata Bhedam. But they all come under one category, which is Paramatma. For Paramatma, they are the Shariram. So can we understand the differences and the non-differences simultaneously? Yes. Let us take one great dish called Bhel Puri. Have you heard of Bhel Puri? In that Bhel Puri, you will have that puri, which is that puffed rice. Then you will have all those saves to go together. Then you will put that date and tamarind chutney. Then you will put that green chutney. Then you will put some tomatoes. Then you may put some grated carrots. You may put some cut cucumbers. Then you may put all of this. They are all different. But when you put them as one product, it is called by one name Bhel Puri. Even if it is called as one product and one name, you can still see the differences within the Bhel Puri. They have not got mixed together. Same way, Krishna says there is Swagata Bhedam. Chetana is different from Achetana. Achetana is different from Paramachetana Paramatma. Since they form a part of my body, it looks that there is no one second to me. Ekameva Dvitiyam, it refers. Puriyallo? So, Manushyatva Samashrena Matrena Mam Itara Sajatiyamatva Tiraskurvanti Ityartaha. Now Krishna says, see, from verse 1 to 10, he has spoken about how he creates, sustains, dissolution, the disparity, and how he is not associated with the disparity. Now Krishna says, to bring about some uddharanam, improvement in the jivatmas, I become one like you, Arjuna. See, Krishna has taken the form of a human. Because Arjuna will ask a question like, Krishna, you keep telling you are Paramatma. and you keep telling that we are Jivatmas. You also tell that Jivatmas have permeated the material body. Then as Paramatma, even you have a material body. Then both of us are the same. See, the basic quality of Arjuna is to tell that Krishna and he are both the same. And Krishna always tries establishing the fact, I am different from you. This is that shloka. Manushin Tanu. You have also got the same body as of a human being. Manushin Tanu. Then Krishna says, Ashritam Manushin Tanu. Yes, Arjuna. Both of us have human bodies. It appears to a third person that you are a human while I am also a human. There is a difference. What is the difference? He asks. Hiranmaya mrinmaya ghatayor dravya vaijatyopi samsthana samyam. Look at the example. He says, let's say in a house, we used to have that habit. I'm sure the elderly people here will be able to relate to. Earthen pots were used for cooking. So you use mud as the element and you create earthen pots, and people who have tasted from both earthen pot and Insta pot will know the difference, the subtle difference in the taste, because you are having direct association with the mrin bhandam, that pot which is made up of earthly material, which is mud. So what happens in a house is that earthen pot breaks or is lost. There will be slight worry. Then they will say, we'll buy another pot. Imagine the house had a golden pot and that is lost. And the mother is worried, what happened to that golden pot? The boy says, see, at the end of the day it is a pot. Arey, this golden pot, nobody will have it. We alone had it. You have lost that pot. Don't give me these senseless arguments, but that both are pot at the end of the day. That is an earthen pot. You can always get another earthen pot. Whereas golden pot, you will have only one. Ekameva dvitiyam. Like how both your body and my body may come under the word body. My body is not a pancha bhautika shariram. It is that of the golden pot. Your body is that of the pancha bhautika shariram. So it may seem, Arjuna, that just because I am extremely accessible to you, that both you and me are the same. I know everything about you. You know nothing about me. This makes the world of difference. Manushim tanumashritam mama param bhavam. Look at my param bhavam. Parama karunikataya. See, the greatest factor what our acharyas ascribe to Paramatma is karuna, mercy. What does mercy mean? If you leave us early, that is mercy. Leave us, we will go. That is mercy. There are other paryaya vachaka shabdam. There are synonyms to the word mercy. There is one very commonly heard or understood word, daya. Have you heard of the word daya? So what does daya mean? If you ask daya, if you ask that what is that mommy? Siri. Have you heard of Siri? There is another, Siri has one Purvacharya Surakshitam. Her name is Alexa. So you ask Alexa, Alexa, what is daya? Mercy. She will say mercy. Okay, now we have to define mercy. Now we'll see how mercy works. This daya has two definitions. Paradukha asahishnuta. First definition. What is daya? Paradukha asahishnuta. Paradukha. If somebody else known to you or in your vicinity suffers, that inability to tolerate their suffering is called daya, not enjoying. No, that is not daya, there is nirdaya. So daya means they are suffering. I can't take it. Okay, get me a plate of chapati. So our daya will stop in the 2 seconds. That is called para dukkha asahishnuta. You are unable to tolerate somebody else's agony. That is daya. But we say, looking at Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan, you are dayavan. If the Lord also does this sound, बहुत सफर कर रहे हो, ठीक है लक्ष्मी आज क्या बना हुआ है? So then we will not call him dayavan. So daya's definition has to change. What is that daya's definition? Paradukha nivartakatvam. The ability to understand the agony of the people around you and sure to bring a solution to eradicate that dukkha. In the 3rd semester of MBA in organizational behavior, you will get this chapter called Difference Between Sympathy and Empathy. That is a payable course. This is free. That is the only difference. If something is given for free, no value will be there. So whereas when I do it in MBA in a lecture theatre complex and I say sympathy is the ability, then we will take notes. If I tell like this paradukha nivartakatvam, something and all he's telling in Sanskritam, he acts as if he knows. I don't think that is the way it has to be looked. That will be the comment. But you are all very good people, I'm telling you. Now, that is called Daya. Now, are there witnesses to Bhagavan's Daya? Yes. See, there was a great case thrown in Supreme Court of India. So, in Bharatadesham, for everything we will go to Supreme Court. Okay, tomorrow should I use a blanket while sleeping or not? There will be one 7-member bench to decide that. So, we will go to the Supreme Court. So, there was one court, there was a case running. What was that case? Does Bhagavan have mercy, Daya or not? That was the case, some PIL case, somebody had thrown, some Bhushan had thrown. We want to understand if Bhagavan has Daya or not. Immediately this case was heard. Case number 701, 701, 701. What is the case? The prima facie was, Bhagavan does not have Daya. Immediately the prosecutor came and said, no, Bhagavan has Daya. Then immediately the judge asked, do you have witnesses to say that Bhagavan has Daya? Then the person said, yes, I have brought 6 witnesses. Remember this, I have brought 6 witnesses to showcase and determine that Bhagavan has Daya because they are the direct beneficiaries of it. Labharthi. They have obtained profit because of this. Who are they? The judge said, call them. So that is when the attorney says, I will call one by one, let them come. Vatsalyat abhaya pradana samayat artarti nirvapanat audaryat adhasoshanat aganita shreyav padav prapanat sevya shri patireka yeva jagatam yete cha shatsakshinaha. You must have seen this scene in many of the movies. They will call that person's name thrice. Prahlada, Prahlada, Prahlada came. Then Prahlada is the first witness. He came and said, Judge Saab, I am beneficiary of Bhagavan's Daya. My father was a big anti-social element. He called himself a monarch. He troubled me. When he troubled me, I invoked the blessings of the Lord. Even without consulting with the Paramatma, I said, Paramatma stays everywhere. See, the beauty of Narasimhavataram is, till Prahlada said as well, Paramatma was pervading every bit of space. But only when this boy said that Paramatma is everywhere, it seems that Paramatma realized that he is everywhere. You are able to get the meaning. He was there everywhere. Only when this little boy said, dear father, you are asking where Hari is. Hari is there everywhere. Sarvatra asti sada asti. That is when Paramatma looked at Lakshmi and said, hey, I am there everywhere. I knew that. You didn't know. I didn't know till this boy said. So the Lord started pervading every bit of space. Trailokyame tadakhilam narasimha garbham. See, imagine Hiranyakashipu threw his mace at a pillar and the pillar struck like a dicotyledon and broke into 2 pieces. And the Lord did not emerge. Then what Hiranyakashipu would have done? Naan kurinen allava kadavul embavan illai illai என்பதை நான் எத்தனை தடவை உனக்கு உரைப்பேன். He would have said. But the Lord had to prove. See, I won't get votes for this. Trust me. So, the Lord emerged from the pillar. So, Prahlada said, the Lord could have still chosen not to emerge. O judge, when I called him as a little boy, he emerged from the pillar. What more proof do you want that he is Dayavan? Prahlada. The judge said, who are the other witnesses? Prahladascha Vibhishana. Next Vibhishana comes. Vibhishana says, see, I was having a very happy life in Lanka. All my investments, both in tangible and intangible assets, were in Lanka. I had a very happy family. I could have still said, Ravana, all the best. But I said, you have done a grave mistake by kidnapping somebody else's wife. You should cease to call yourself an administrator for having done such an obnoxious task. I would not like to stay in this Lanka Pradesham that tries to insult a woman. I will leave this place. When he left Lanka, did he message Ramji? मैं CAA implement हुआ है क्या? मैं लंका से आ रहा हूँ. एक बात बता दीजिए, अब एक heads up दे दीजिए, तब मैं आ सकता हूँ. He never said that. He did not know which side Bharata Desham is. He did not know where Rama was positioned. He did not know if Rama would accept him. He did not know if Rama would give him asylum. The moment he thought that Ravana, Lankadhipati, was into adharmam, he said, I will have to go to the side which has dharmam. He left with no assurance, but he was given abhaya pradhanam. So Vibhishana said, I am witness to Bhagavan's daya. So Prahlada, Vibhishana. Next the judge said, call the third witness. The attorney said, so, no sir, it is a bit tough. We need to go outside the court. Outside the court? Is it a settlement? No, it's not outside the court settlement. We have to go outside to see the witness. Who is that witness? Gajendra has to come. How he will get inside the court? Right. Prahladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat. That elephant escaped Veerappan and came. So, that elephant with those large tusks called Gajendra came. Now he had to converse in that animal's language. Elephant whisperers. He called one elephant whisperer and said, communicate what this elephant wants to say. The elephant said, see, people say Gajendra Stuti. I meditate within myself. And that was translated and transposed as a shloka by Shuka Brahmam in Bhagavatam. I just prayed to the Lord to bring some relief to the excruciating pain that I was undergoing in the jaws of the virulent crocodile. The Lord immediately came. The elephant nodded and said, the judge asked, are you sure that you are a recipient of Lord's mercy? The elephant nodded, yes. So the third witness was over. Prahladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat. Fourth witness, Panchali. Draupadi said, generally for the man, it is his wife. For the wife, it is that man. So as a companion support, as good friends, we always make a MOU during our marriage. Correct? Memorandum of Understanding. Ekasve Vishnustvanan Vedu Dve Burjve Vishnustvanan Vedu. So it is called the 7 steps. Saptapadi. That is an MOU between the husband and wife. I will support you, you will support me. Draupadi said, see, for one wife and one husband itself, there was an MOU. I had 5 MOUs signed at the same time. But the irony of my life is when all the 5 husbands who are gym body men, whey protein men were sitting, none of them came to my rescue when I wanted. It was Krishna who was at a distance of 1550 kilometers in the island called Dwaraka, who sent me the clothes that I wanted. My Sharanagati was towards Krishna, not towards these 5 husbands, useless ones who did not help me. He was the one who came and gave me that vastram. So I am a recipient of Krishna's mercy. Prahladascha, Vibhishanascha, Karirat, Panchali. Next came a woman. She said, I had a relationship with Indra, absolutely cognizant that this is not my husband Gautama, but Indra. Yet, he did not see me as a victim of infidelity. He told my husband Gautama, yes, she has committed a mistake, but you need to forgive her. See, during the times in the colonial literature, there was a work called The Tests of the D'Urberville by Thomas Hardy. So there is a very poor girl of the peasants who is being molested by the son of the rich landlord called D'Urberville. So this Tess is accused. It is said that this Tess was molested. She is a poor woman. Because she is poor, she got molested. It is her fault that she got molested by the landlord's son, and it was not the landlord's son's fault. That time, whereas take the contrary example in Ramayana. Ahalya was aware that this is not her husband Gautama but Indra. But she thought, so what if I have a relationship with the Lord of Lords called Indra? Even then Rama said she has committed a mistake, knowingly committed a mistake, but Gautama, forgiving his life, forgive her. He showed, even if my husband was not ready to show mercy, O Judge Saab, he coaxed my husband to show mercy on me. I am the fifth witness, Ahalya. Then came the last of the boys called Dhruva. who said, when my own biological father called Uttanapada refused to cuddle me and pamper me while I was seated on his lap, it was Narayana who took the role of my father and gave me that love which I was missing from my biological father. I am a recipient of this mercy. The judge wrote, thereby I conclude, Narayana is merciful. That Narayana is merciful, Krishna tells, Param Bhavam Ajanantaha in the next line. Next, Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. This world has all these Characharam as my body. At the same time, I am not a person who's quality-less, bereft of qualities. I have the quality to see that Vatsalyam. See, mother is extremely important in Sanatana Dharma. Matrudevo Bhava. But Shastram says Paramatma is 100 times more loving than the mother, it seems. That is why Alvar, the mystic saint, says Kulam Tarum Shelvam Tandidum Adiyar Paduttuyar Ayinavellam Nilam Tarum Seyum Nil Vishumbarulum Arulodu Perinilamadikum Valam Tarum Matrum Tandidum Petra Tayinum Ayina Seyum. More than, because can a biological mother go against her children? There are examples. Kaikeyi did not know the merits and the emotions of her son Bharata. Even without his knowledge, she sought boons and made his life absolutely a disaster. So a biological mother can go against the son. Can the biological father not support the son? Uttarapada did not admonish Suruchi when she was reprimanding Dhruva. That little boy had to cry. Biological mother can go against the son. Kaikeyi is example. Biological father can go against the wishes of the son. Uttanapada is the example. Biological brother Ravana can go against the advice of his brother. Vibhishana is an example. Biological father can even go to the extent of killing the son. Hiranyakashipu is an example. But the one who acts as a mother, Annayay, Attanay, Annayandidum, Tanmayan, the one who takes the role of a loving mother, a doting father, an insightful acharya, an everlasting companion is Bhagavan. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. So one meaning is treat the mother as Deva. Deva means what? I didn't ask question for a very long time. Huh? What does Deva mean? Deva, remember this, in Sanskritam, Deva means Divu Kridayam. The one who loves to play is called Deva. See, in Sanatana Dharma, we will have this question, sir, this world is full of pleasure and pain. Why did the Lord create this world? Simple answer, Lokattu Leela Kaivalyam. It seems he was bored in Vaikuntham. He asked Mahalakshmi, kuch to karna hai, bahut boring ho raha hai na. Lakshmi, tum bhi bolo na. So Lakshmi said, ab kya karna chahte hain? I just want to create this world. So he just thought and he said, okay, let me with my body of Chetana, from Sthula Dasha, Sukshma Dasha becomes Sthula Dasha, let it be many. And this world became many. Then he gave karma account to everyone. They started suffering. Lakshmi said, dekhe, kitne log suffer kar rahe hain. Sabhi game hai, Lakshmi. Why are they crying like this? That is why one composer wrote, Nanuru vilayat bommaya. Am I a puppet in your hands? Yes, we are puppets. So we suffer. We think our suffering is true. But Paramatma says, these are all, you will anyways come to Vaikuntham. Why do you have to worry over such things? See, parents, when their children at the age, say a child is in class 1, the child is crying for some small reason. Then the mother will laugh and say, hey, what reason is this? Why do you cry? But for the child crying baby, it is a true reason. But the mother, through her maturity and seasoned behavior, knows that that reason does not merit crying. Same, you put yourself into the child's role and Paramatma in the mother's role. Paramatma says, why do you cry for all of this? You missed 2 days of Bhagavad Gita lectures, right? That's okay. You come to Vaikuntham and listen. Okay. So, one person says, I missed all the 3 days. Surely you'll get moksha. You have not missed anything at all. Don't worry for such things. Only people who have attended should cry, not the ones who have not attended. Param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram. This entire prakriti is my body, my shariram. 12th shloka. Moghasha mogha karmanaha. please don't think I'm being repetitive. You can say in two ways, mogasha. But as far as my knowledge goes, Krishna didn't say that word. He didn't say mogasha. He said moghasha. Moghasha mogha karmanaha. Mogha jnana vichetasaha. Rakshasim asurim chaiva. Prakritim mohinim shrutaha. The commentary is Mama Manushyatve Parama Karunyadi Paratva Tirodhanakarim Rakshasim Asurim Cha Mohinim Prakritim Mashrutaha Moghashaha Moghavanchita Nishphalavanchitaha Moghakarmanaha Mogharambhaha Moghajnanaha Sarveshu Madiyeshu Charachareshu Artheshu Maicha Viparita Jnanataya Nishphalajnanaha Vichetasaha Tatha Sarvatra Vigata yathatmya jnanaha mam sarveshwaram idarasamam matva mayi yat kartum icchanti yat uddishya arambhan kurvate tat sarvam mogham bhavati ityartah. He uses three words. Gita Acharya, Krishna, Vasudeva's son Vasudeva uses three technical words in the first line. Moghasha, Mogha karmanaha, Mogha jnana. Three words he uses. Whom does he mean by this? He will explain. He says, Moghashaha, people who have futile efforts. So one person went to an electronics shop. There were employees there who would be explaining the products, telling its special features, how the working happens. So he said, I want to buy the washing machine. That employee came and said, you can never buy washing machine. How dare? Are you body shaming me? Do you feel that I do not have the ability to buy a washing machine? Do you feel I do not have the necessary looks to even pay you the money and buy the washing machine? Tell me, what is the price of this washing machine? That employee said, you can never buy a washing machine. This person asked, how dare I keep repeating, I'm asking you to substantiate your statement as to why I cannot buy a washing machine. He said, you're hitting on a micro oven and you're asking, can I buy a washing machine? Which means you do neither know micro oven nor do you know washing machine. Correct? See, for example, a person who is very new to Shastriya Sangeetam, which is Carnatic music. That person, his wife is extremely adept in music. She will not leave even one concert. I think in that announcement they were telling many Vidwans and Vidushis are coming to Simhapuri. Right? So the wife is accustomed to going to one kacheri after the other, one concert after the other. She knows exactly what ragam that person is singing, whether it is a Janya ragam, Sampurna ragam, Vivadi ragam and so on. She pulls her husband one day, but the husband wants to prove a point that he too knows music. So while the person is singing, let's say the Vidwan is singing, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Caturveda Swarupini Sringara Kamara Jodhbhava Sakala Vishwavyapini Devim Shakti Bijodhbhava Matrikana Sharirini Devanuta Bhavaroga Haravaidhyapati Hridaya Viharini Bhavaragatala Modini Bhakta Vishta Pradayini Sevagajana Parana Guru Guharupa Muddu Kumara Janani Bhajare Re Chitta Balambika. The person is singing well. She relishes every bit of it, every prayogam. The husband wants to show he knows. Bhairavi is being so sung very well, he says. Why the ragam that was utilized was Kalyani and not Bhairavi. But he says it is Bhairavi. So what is the conclusion? The person neither knows Kalyani nor Bhairavi. That is the conclusion. Same way, Manushyatve Paramakarunikattvadi. So Mogha Karmanaha, vain efforts. If you end up doing something without your full involvement, the fruits that will come out of your efforts will be futile, says Krishna. Such efforts are called moghashaha. Next, mogha karmanaha. Either through a devata. See, for example, we believe that nastika means nastika ante emi, nastika andre eno, nastikan endral yaar, nastika arth kya hai, avladha naal language undri. Nastika means one who does not believe in God. That is the definition given by Vikyacharya. Now, as per our Purvacharyas, there are 3 steps in defining a Nastika. Asti in Sanskrit means is there. Na asti, something is not there. That belief is not there. So it is called Nasti. Nasti means it's not there. That is why even some of the antisocial elements in Tamil Nadu were extremely adept in Sanskritam. It's a Nasti Panidu. They're all very good in Sanskritam. Nasti Panidu Sar. So they've all been listening to Bhagavad Gita lectures. Now the point is, Na asti. What does the person deny? What does that person negate? Shastram says 3 levels. The person who denies the existence and the purpose of the Vedas. The person who denies the existence of Paramatma. The person who denies the existence of the Prameyam through the Pramanam. You, sir, for us, Nastika, this definition. Can you get one step deeper? See, I say, for example, technically as per this definition given by our Purvacharyas, I say, I believe in God. Do you believe in Vedas? No. Then you are a Nastika. You are able to get the difference. Definition given by our Purvacharyas to Nastika doesn't mean not believing in God, not believing in Vedas. So let's say a person believes in the existence and the prayogam of the Vedas, but doesn't believe in Paramatma. Have you heard of such people? Anybody here? They believe in the Vedas. They will follow the Vedas till the T, but they will not believe in Paramatma. Just one answer I'm expecting. Huh? Very good. Give him a big hand. I'll tell you the answer. Purva Mimamsakas is the answer. I'll just go 2 lines to explain this particular point. Sir, isn't this a bit confusing? They believe in the Vedas. Yes. They don't believe in Paramatma. Yes. Such category people are called Purva Mimamsaka. That is why when we listen to Ramayanam and Bhagavatam, we have to be what did that Mark Antony say? Friends, Romans and countrymen, lend me your ears. You have to lend your ears. Then only you will understand Bhagavatam well. In Bhagavatam, Dashamaskandam, there is an incident. Krishna, along with his friends, while they had transferred themselves from Gokulam to Vrindavanam. Do you remember that change of capital? While they were there, Krishna took all his friends, Pichu Mani, Raja Mani, they had a WhatsApp group. Hey Pichu, bring tomorrow, let's all meet near Vrindavan. Theek hai na? Okay, I told this in Chennai, Theek hai na? Why are you speaking in Hindi? I said, he spoke in Hindi, what can I do? So, you can't put a t-shirt everywhere. So, and these days, if you do not know also, they tell you in the political meetings, if you do not know Hindi, learn Hindi and come. So, now the point here is, Krishna told his friends, let us all meet in the morning at 7 a.m. He told some spot. So they all met. And they forgot to take their lunch boxes. They went along with the cows and the calves to graze in the middle of Vrindavanam. As they were grazing, the boys said, Krishna, very hungry. Krishna said, Komalas is also not there. So what do we do? That is when the boys said, Krishna, very hungry. Then Krishna said, there is one habitat very close by. That particular township has rishis of the Angirasa Parampara. They are Angirasas. So if you are of the descent of Angirasa, you are called Angirasa. So these Angirasas are very well learned people. You go ask for food from them. To the best of my knowledge, they have made Vatta Kolambu in their house. Krishna told that also. How many of you don't know Vatta Kolambu? Be honest. You don't know. So those of you who know how to make, please give them. It's a very supreme dish. It is like the Amritam of the Devas. So it is a thick tamarind concoction with the powder sambar podi, which is generally roasted in gingerly oil at the start in a stone vessel called kalchetti. And then it is boiled for about 45 minutes, where the quantity reduces to about 40%, and you put that in steamed boiling rice with about 2 magnanimous spoons of ghee and consume. You can see Paramatma in front of you. So that is Vadaparam. So Krishna said, oh dear boys, go collect the food from the rishis of the Angirasas. So his boys went and they said, Mama, Krishna said, it seems you have made some Vadaparam, give us. These men said, this is meant for Agni Devata, we will not give. Now you may wonder, Agni Devata, because, see, there is a point here. Krishna describes that later. When you do not serve Bhagavan and have, whatever you cook, you make chapati, you make lasagna, you make waffle, whatever you do, whatever you cook, you just have to extend your hands and say, Krishnam Samarpayami. That's all. Just from, you don't have to take one silver vessel, put it in that 2 leaves of tulsi, all that extra weightage and all, you don't have to do. Just show it from that place, simple. But there is one rule. You should not taste till you serve. The moment you put it, that's all gone. Okay. So, you have to serve. So, Krishna says, Arjuna, there are certain people who cook very well, who eat very well, but who do not submit that ball of food to me. When they do not, it is equivalent to consuming papam. It's called Papa Kabalam. So, you know, there was a predecessor in Raghuvamsham, much before Rama. His name was called Trishanku. Have you heard of him? Trishanku. His original name was not Trishanku. It was an acquired name. Trishanku means the one who has committed the 3 unforgivable papams. The first papam is he never used to serve Paramatma the food. So that was the first sin. Second, he abducted the cow from the backyard of Vasishtha and butchered it. Third, he married a woman forcefully who was betrothed to another man. So 3 unforgivable sins he did. So he acquired the name Trishanku. So one of the sins is not serving the food. So, whenever you cook, it is just a suggestion. Don't think I am in an advisable position. It's all, I am not at all there. I am a very primitive mortal. If at all, I can suggest as a good friend, whatever you eat, whatever you cook, from that very place you say, Krishna, have this. Such a simple thing for telling that one line. Don't worry of the outcome of the product. You don't have to be essentially a good cook. Krishna consumes all kinds of food. So he doesn't, see, during Krishna Jayanti, we have to give one jelusil to Krishna. He consumes the savories made in our house. What quality gradation he has come down, you see. But he still consumes. So don't worry about how, whether, what kind of quality he will, whether he wants a Michelin chef kind of standard. Nothing. He will consume our food, don't worry. But give him. So Shastram says, when you cook, you have to serve. But if you are a Yajva, Yajva means you are performing a yagam. In those days there were different ways. Agnihotri, Vajapeyi. If you perform a yagam called Vajapeyam, you were called Vajapeyi. You had a leader in Bharatadesham. He was called Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Because that Vajpayee comes from the word Vajapeyam, Vajapeyi. These are all surnames. So you will have this name Agnihotri, so on and so forth. So which means that they were into yagams. So when you perform the yagam, there is one way without mixing Bore adikadhu. Without mixing salt, you have to take cooked rice, put balls of rice into that fire. You must have seen many yagas where they will ask you to bring cooked rice and all of that. So these Angi Rasas, the rishis, were only into the stringent way of performing the yagam. But they did not believe in Paramatma who gives the fruits for the yagam. They were called Purva Mimamsakas. You are able to get the meaning. Purva Mimamsaka means the one who completely believes in the Vedas but doesn't believe in Paramatma. So these boys came and told Krishna, upon your advice we went to the husbands. They said, we will not give you food. What do we do now? We are hungry. Krishna said, there is another way. Go via the backyard. In that kitchen, the Brahmana's wife will be there. You go ask those mommies, they will give you. So these boys went and said, Krishna is hungry and we are also hungry. We want some food. The moment they heard this, the wife said, take this food and go. So they believed in the karma or the yaga performed by the husbands. They believed in the Vedas. They also believed that their husbands are inadvertently propitiating the Paramatma who is Krishna. So they were Uttara Mimamsakas. So in the same house, husband will vote for one party, wife will vote for the other. Husband was a Purva Mimamsaka, wife was a Uttara Mimamsaka. So she is a Nastika while the husband is a Nastika. Husband is Nastika, wife is Astika. We have many examples in Tamil Nadu. So, Moghasha Mogha Karmanaha Mogha Jnana Vichetasaha. So Nastika means who doesn't believe in the Vedas, who doesn't believe in Paramatma, who doesn't believe in the Dhamam, the abode of Paramatma called Vaikuntham. So that is called as a Nastika Shabdam. Moghasha Mogha Karmanaha, the one who perform yagas as mentioned in the Vedas, but do not attribute it to me, Arjuna. Such people, Mogha Karmanaha, Mogha Jnanaha, those people who have Viparita Jnanam. Viparita Jnanam is misplaced knowledge. Such people, Viparita Jnanaha, Vichetasaha, such people are adept in certain gunas. See, generally when we read Amar Chitrakatha, N.T. Ramarao's movies, A.P. Nagarajan's movies, Ramanand Sagar, B.R. Chopra, we will come across certain characters. We will call some people as Rakshasas. Rakshasa means typically they will be having two damshtra, that canine teeth coming outside. They will have spiked hair like that 7-Up advertisement. They will not have very seasoned and cultured clothing. They will have all rough and very crude clothing. So that is the way we caricature a Rakshasa. Asura will have all those weapons. They will be having one soda bottle, cycle chain. They are all Asuras. Whereas Sattva people, you must have seen those dialogue delivery as well from Rishis. Arundhati, tum idhar aa sakti ho. Nobody will talk like this. But all we have caricatured Sattvic people this way. In the 1960s or 70s, Sumati, enga margani. So, we are used to those kind of delivery. We feel that Deva Gunam means you have to talk that way. If you come to my house, you will surely conclude I am a Rakshasa. Nobody talks in the house. We don't talk that way, right? So we have caricatured people in a certain way. But Krishna says, Asura is not essentially one group of people living in an island. Arjuna, whoever acts in a tamasic way and a rajasic way, they are Asuras. Don't think Asuras are a group of people. That is why in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, we have one very learned person. When he speaks, only he can understand. He is called the Alvar of Alvarpette. Okay. Kadavul paadi, murugam paadi, kalandu seida kalavainan. So, he believes, he has learned Bhagavad Gita, he must have learned. So, that Asura and Deva is within us. Krishna clearly does not demarcate the society. He says that the Asura and the Rakshasa are no different, Arjuna. We are that. See, whenever we listen to Bhagavata Mahapuranam, Saptama Skandam, there will be this narration about Prahlada. Prahlada was extremely devoted. He always saw the Lord everywhere. He saw Paramatma everywhere. And we are the magnanimous people who will be urged to think that we are the Prahlada. We are nowhere close to the vicinity of that boy. We are the Hiranyakashipus. We are not Prahladas. Don't even have the audacity to compare us with that little boy. See, had I been in Prahlada's position, my father is such a tyrant and he says, tell me that I am Paramatma. I would have said, you are only Paramatma. I would have not even argued with my father. Api, Hiranyakashipave Namaha, Kashyaputraya Namaha, Vidisutaya Namaha, Loka Dukkha Karanaya Namaha. I would have done an archana for my father. I would have obtained that land. I would have been the next president of that party. I would have done all of that. But Prahlada, that little boy of 4 years, had the valor to tell, you are not Paramatma. Paramatma, Trailokya, he is different. He is within you. He is within me. But you are not him. He had the prowess and that valor to show the mirror to his father. Are we that Prahladas? No. We are that Hiranyakashipus. We are very close to Hiranyakashipu. At times we even overdo Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu will feel so bad. Itna bhi nahi karna chahiye. So he will feel ashamed looking at us. So Krishna says, Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva. Rakshasa guna and Asura guna, hey Arjuna, are within us. Prakritim Mohinim Shrutaha. Then Arjuna asks, why does all this come to us? Mohinim Shrutaha. That is because of avidya. All of this, your avidya, vasana, karma, ruchi, prakriti sambandham will lead you to the state, Arjuna. Then Arjuna asked, so what is that veil, that curtain that stands in front of us? Prakriti. It is called Tirodhanakari. Remember this word. Tirodhanakari means curtain that stands between the Jivatma and Paramatma and coaxes that Jivatma to never realize the potential of Paramatma. That Yavalika, Telugu Astikalu unnara ikkada? Unnara? Endukante Telugu bhashalo Yavalika ante curtain. Adi Telugu bhashalo marugu anta cheptaru. See, in Telugu, the language, Telugu is a beautiful language. So in Telugu, the word for curtain is marugu. Marugu ante curtain. And you know, in many of the marriages, in the Telugu Sampradayam, Andhra Sampradayam, now we have two, Telangana Sampradayam and Andhra Sampradayam, Karnataka Sampradayam, Marathiya Sampradayam. Any Marathi Astikas here? In many marriages, if you see, between the bride and the groom, they will draw a curtain. So in Telugu, it is called Marugu. In the Tamil tradition, you don't have that samskara. So Tyagaraja Swami, 250 years before, he was a connoisseur and he was a great composer in the Telugu language. Though he lived in Tamil Nadu. See, Tamil Nadu has a good Telugu connection. Telugu families ruling Tamil Nadu has been there for a long time. So, in Tamil Nadu, Tyagaraja lived. So Tyagaraja puts himself into the shoes of Sita. And Sita is looking at Rama. She's gaping at Rama, but she sees that there is a curtain drawn between the two. So she is looking at Raghukulottama Raghava. Raghava means Rama. She's asking Rama, I want to see you in person. Why is this curtain between us? Marugu yelara o Raghava. Marugu yelara. Marugu yelara. Ani oka shabdam ante marugelara. Marugelara o Raghava. Marugela chara chara rupa. Marugela chara chara rupa. Oh, the entire world is your body, Raghava. Whom is this curtain trying to hide before me? So for a Jivatma, there is a curtain. That curtain is Prakriti. Prakriti is Yavanika. Yavanika is Tirodhanakari. That is Mohini. That is why Krishna says, Chaiva Prakritim Mohini. You do have Asura Svabhavam. You do have Rakshasa Svabhavam. Arjuna says, me? Not you. Generally I am telling. How do you know that I don't have? See, had it been a Rakshasa by now, he would have beheaded me, Arjuna. But you are patiently listening. That itself says that you are not an Asura. I am talking about others. Fikar mat karo. Rakshasi Masurin Chaiva Prakriti Mohini Shrutaha. 13th shloka. Mahatmanastumam Partha. See, in most of the fields that we are all associated, be it the medical field, engineering, or probably electronics, there is a way of plotting a graph. Okay, 7 to 7:30, the voice will be here. Then it will reach that bell curve, that zenith, and slowly it will come down by the time it is 8:45. So maintain the same energy level. Tapponilla. So, mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manasaha Nyatva bhutarim avyayam Yetu svakritaihi punya sanjanaihi mam sharanyam upagamya vidhvasta samasta papabandhaha daivim prakritim ashritaha mahatmanaha te bhutadim avyayam mang manasagochara nama karmasvarupam paramakarumikataya sadhu paritranaya manushyattvena avatirnam mam nyatva ananya manasaha mam bhajante mat priyatvadi atirekena mat bhajanena vina manasaha cha atmanaha cha bahya karananam cha dharanam alabhamanaha mat bhajanaika prayojanaha bhajante. Partha. What does partha mean? Pritha son. See, now partha denotes whom? Arjuna, Bhima and Yudhishthira. Remember this. Partha means Pritha's son. It can denote all the three, any one of the three. But then why does Krishna keep calling Partha only to him? Because though the other three were Parthas, Krishna was very close only to this cousin. Because Yudhishthira was much elder to Krishna. Bhima was also elder to Krishna. In Sri Mahabharatam, subtle things that great Vyasacharya begins or brings to the table. Every time Krishna and Yudhishthira meet in Mahabharatam, if you look into the original Grantha, Mula Kavyam, Krishna will fall at the feet of Yudhishthira and seek his blessings. See, these are all little things you may understand. Isme kya hai sir? That is what we miss. See, we only see the larger VFX plot. Usne Narayana Astra bheja. उसमें से पूरा अग्नि निकल के आया, दूसरी तरफ आया पाशुपतास्त्र. See, we are not visual communication student or VFX students. We should see what value I have for me in Mahabharatam. Whether that is Brahmastram, missile, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. Krishna falls at the feet of Yudhishthira. If Paramatma incarnate Krishna himself respects elderly people, we should also respect. That is the moral we have to take. See, subtle things. See, in Ramayana, I'll tell you one thing. In Krishna's life, everything was love marriage. No, mother didn't have to go to Bharat Matrimony, register, profile number 73401, then giving that clean habits, non-alcohol, all this the mother and father didn't have to do. In Rama Avataram, it seems to us as if it is like a love marriage. But Valmiki says this was not a love marriage. He is very clear. It is not even assisted. See, Rama went. See, the Ramayana premise plot itself we lose. Because we know Ramayana only to N.T. Ramarao garu. Janakuswami, Elagunnaru. Then we'll have those voices and then, oh, Miku Gamala, and Kedaragodam will be singing. We have seen Ramayana from that side and maximum Arun Govil we have seen. So we have never touched Valmiki Ramayana. In Valmiki Ramayana, no announcement is given. Jo bhi ye Shiv Dhanush ko uthayega, usko meri beti prastut. There is no such rule. This was a simple utsavam to worship Shiva's bow. Remember this. This was not a competition. In most dance competitions, 4 men will be seated. One king will come. He will try lifting. He will fall. He will fail. Next king will come. You have seen all this? Nothing of this happened in Ramayana. As far as I know, Valmiki has only written Ramayana. He doesn't give any such plot. This was a Dhanush Puja. It was a festival, a samskara meant to commemorate the greatness of Shiva's bow. Because if Mahadeva has used that bow, it means something good, right? See, when we go to museums, they'll say Gandhiji used to stick this person. So when Shiva has used that bow, it has to be worshipped. So Shiva Dhanush Puja was conducted. For that puja, Janaka got to know from his intel sources that Vishwamitra is in a vicinity of 60 kilometers. If you call Vishwamitra, it is a problem. If you don't invite him, it is a bigger problem, like Subramanian Swami. So, don't tell him this, he'll file a case for that also. So, the moment Janaka Maharaja, what is Janaka's name? Very good. Who said that? Excellent. Siradhvaja. So Janaka's name was Siradhvaja. Siradhvaja got to know that Vishwamitra is in the vicinity. He immediately messaged Vishwamitra ji, if you are available, please do come. If you are planning to come, RSVP, call this number. So Vishwamitra also thought that it is worthwhile to go, because two of these boys, young boys, barely of less than 12 years, called Rama and Lakshmana, were successful to vanquish Tataka, Subahu, and drive away Maricha. And so he thought, I have to give them some stipend. Right? When you do some program, you have to give some stipend. Then these boys will go and say, so Vishwamitra thought, let me take these two boys of marriageable age. Note that down, less than 12 years, marriageable age. I will take them to Janakapattinam, which is Mithila in current day Nepal. And what was that invite for? To attend the Shiva Dhanush Puja. But the roads leading to Mithila were like outer ring road of Bangalore. In outer ring road of Bangalore, if the Jivatma is caught, if somebody is there in ambulance, you can easily do the Antima Samskara there itself. They will never reach the hospital. So, Janaka, when Vishwamitra took these young boys, Rama and Lakshmana, to Janaka's court, by then the Samskara had gotten over. That puja was over, all the invitees who attended, they all left, and they were all given their return gifts, they all left. This Dhanush, Mahadeva, Lord Shiva's Dhanush, after the puja was kept in the treasury house. That very moment, Vishwamitra says, oh, wo Dhanush kidhar hai? Janaka says, puja ho gaya. So I have kept it inside. Leke aao. I brought two young men, very good in archery. Rama may want to see. Rama and Lakshmana were seated. That is when Vishwamitra says, Ram, wo dekhe thoda aa jao na. That's all he said. Vatsa Rama, Dhanuh Pashya, iti Raghavam Abravit. Go see that bow and come. What we would have done? It is acha hai. We would have come. We would have just seen that bow and come. But what did Rama do in return? He looked at that bow, lifted it, and tried to string it. In our common day parlance, Rama did not execute completely what Vishwamitra said. What did Vishwamitra say? Vatsa Rama, Dhanuhu, Pashya, see. But Rama lifted. Why? Because the commentator says, Rama was just not a robot taking instructions. He would look at the facial expressions of the Rishi. What did Vishwamitra say? Vatsa Rama, Dhanu Pashya. So he said, lift and see. That lift was there in that. So, for example, you are going for a function. The husband and the wife. They have another event to attend. But the husband is seated in the seat. She has to tell him, let's go. Get up. What does that get up imply? Bracket. Enough. Get up. That enough. Porum. But she has never used that word porum. But her eyes said that. Correct? So I keep looking at your faces, right? I will know when you are bored, when you are not, when you have understood, when you feel a bit vigilant, when your body language says, you, right? I see all that. So body language can also communicate. Don't think communication is only oral. Body language is very important. So Vishwamitra said, Vatsa Rama, Dhanuhu Pashya. Rama went and lifted. Now there was no announcement made to the one who lifts the bow. Sita will be given in marriage. Rama just lifted and incidentally it broke. Rama felt extremely perplexed and worried because you go to somebody else's house and you break their treasured antique object. He looked at Janaka and said, I'm sorry sir, I didn't actually mean to break it? So Janaka said, do not worry, marry my daughter. That came as a shocker, because you break some object and imagine you've been asked to marry. Is that a punishment or a reward? Itself is a question. That is when Sita was ready with the mala. She was ready with the mala and she came approaching Rama. That is when Rama said, no, send a letter to my father. My father has to approve. Only then I will marry, because he knew this is the only avataram where he will take the permission of his father. Next avataram, the parents were kept unaware who is going to be the daughter-in-law for that day. So in Rama avataram, so in Ramayanam there is a shlokam, Darakriyam Prati. This is the line that comes in Balakandam. Of course, when we are used to A.P. Nagarajan, N.T. Rama Rao, Ramanand Sagar, we will miss all these lines. So there he says, Dara Pitrikrita iti. So Rama says, Sita is my beloved. She is my wife. You know why we have a good chemistry? Rama says, Pitrikrita iti. Because she was chosen by my father. That is the line in Ramayanam. I did not choose. My father, my parents chose. So they would have done something good for me. See, this is a very important thing. I know today parents do give a lot of liberty to children and they say, as an individual, he or she, you have the right to choose your partner. But at the same time, if the children are unable to find, they should trust their parents as well. It should be a mutual trust. You won't know how I am. You have come from them. How will they not know you? They know your psychology very well. So, Dara Pitrikrita iti, says Rama. So Ramayanam is just not about translation. It is about the subtle things. So here Krishna says, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha. Daivim prakritim ashritaha. Those who have got devasvabhavam. Previous, what did we see? Asurin Rakshasin. Those who have got the nature of an Asura and a Rakshasa. But now Krishna wants to get a bit positive. He is coming towards the end of the lecture. So he says, Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. There are good people as well, Krishna, Arjuna. Mahatmanaha tu. Such Mahatmas are Jnanis. Those who always want to propitiate me. Mam Bhutadim Avyayam. Those who meditate upon me as being destructionless, endless, beginningless. Those who believe that Paramatma has all the Swarupa Nirupaka Dharmam and is qualified by Nirupita Swarupa Visheshanam, Avyayam, the one who is non-perishable, Nyatva, after having known me. See, we have a few references given by the Vyakhyanakarta. Navedan vinmanude tam brihantam. Those who do not understand the purport and the quintessence of the Vedas, hey Arjuna, they will never understand me. Second reference, Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. It comes in Purusha Suktam. Tasya dhira parijananti yonim marichina padamichanti vedasaha yo devebhyo atapatihi yo devana purohitaha. So here he says, Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. Only people who come to PGP hall, he says, will understand me well. Tasya dhiraha parijananti yonim. Such people, he is referring to all of you. Mahatmanaha tu are jnanis and mahatmas. Those who do not, ask Arjuna. Arjuna will always ask the reverse question. He is the devil's advocate, Karantapar's son. So he will say, such people who do not understand me, mudhaha. So Krishna is very clear. He doesn't mince with words. He says, mudhaha. Daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti. Those who have got devasvabhavam and treat me as the avyayam, the perishless, the beginningless, the endless one, bhajanti, they do bhajanam. Ananya manasaha, this is a very important point. Manasaha, mind. Anya manasaha, mind on something else. Ananya manasaha, mind on me and nothing else. You are able to get the derivation? Krishna doesn't say Anya manasaha. Anya manasaha means, see, there is one bad habit for Parabrahmam, say our acharyas. Parabrahmam doesn't like dual concentration. See, generally we do that in our daily life. My son has to, what is it, 6th standard they give an exam here, what is that? So my child, my son or daughter has to do that well. So Tuesday I will go to one temple. I will tell the Devata there, please take care of my son or daughter. You have to come into their pens, Renault pen, and you have to write for them. Tuesday that Devata has registered, today you have come. Wednesday I will go to another Devata and say, see, I have told Devata 1. But if the Devata 1's appointments are full, the Devata 1 may forget. So you come as backup plan. See, whenever we take a car trip, road trip, what we will do is we will have 4 wheels. Yet we will check if there is a backup called the stepney. Because if one of the wheels goes bad, I can use that wheel. But in Bhakti, Ananya Manasaha, if you tell Krishna, Krishna, please protect me. आपको बोल दिया, पता नहीं कि आप करेंगे कि नहीं. भूल जाएंगे तो मैं दूसरे वाले को बोल दिया. आप नहीं कर सकते हैं तो दूसरा वाला करेगा. Krishna says, Ananya Manasaha, don't use this UPS electricity backup plan in Bhakti. You have told me, I will protect you. Sakrityeva prapannaya. Once you surrender to me, I know how to protect you. Don't doubt, because see, Bhakti has one essential element. Did I tell you about that Vishwasa Prarthana Purvam, day 1, at about 8:45 I was discussing about Kumarila Bhatta. He was pushed by that Buddha. You remember? So that if element shouldn't be there. In our mundane life we can ask, because nobody will doubt their children. Nobody will trust their children completely. Children also don't trust their parents completely. So, but that should not be there in Bhakti. In Bhakti, if you have this dual mind, I've told Krishna, what if he doesn't protect me? Then Krishna will leave. So he says, Ananya Manasaha. Focus on me. Do not focus on anything or anybody else. I will know how to give that moksham to you. Bhutadim abhyayam mam yatva. But know me as the one, not as just the controller. The one who has got the entire characharam, chetana acetanatmakam as my body. You should have a complete understanding of me. See, what is a washing machine used for? To wash clothes. What should I do in washing machine? I have to put the detergent. How should I use the washing machine? I have to connect it to a perennial supply of water tap. What should I do to a washing machine? I have to use the outlet pipe where the dirty water goes into the outlet portion. I know the functionalities of washing machine very well. But I go to a shop and end up hitting at the micro oven. I know about the washing machine very well. But I am hitting at the micro oven means my knowledge is there. I don't know the object of my knowledge. Similarly, I know Paramatma will protect. But I use all these dual kinds of worship, then it will not happen. So in that case, Krishna says, always have the knowledge that the entire creation is in me. I am in them. 2 words you have to understand. The entire creation is in him. That name that encapsulates this meaning, the entire creation is in him, is Vishwam. Have you heard of this word Vishwam? Evidana Namam. Evidana? First Namam. Sahasranamathil first number 190 Namam. Vishwam alle. So Vishwam means the entire creation is in him. Is he there in the creation? Yes. He pervades and permeates every bit of his creation. Why? Because he is Vishnu. So all in one, Vishwam. One in all, Vishnu. Vishwam, Vishnu. Does he control them? Yes. Vashatkaraha. Yesterday you remember 8 o'clock, 3 in 1000 Vashatkaraha. So Vishwam, Vishnu, Vashatkaraha. Vashatkaraha came in the previous lecture. Yesterday, day 2. Vishwam, Vishnu comes here. Bhutadim abhyayam mam nyatva. The one who knows that the entire creation is in me. I am in the entire creation. I am the Niyanta. I am the controller. I am the one who is the repository of attributes such as mercy, audaryam, generosity. Such people have Deva Swabhavam, have the nature of Devas. Now, don't think that Devas means the one who kidnapped that horse, Indra. Deva means the one who's good-natured. You don't have to compare with Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, because all of them have many FIRs against them. See, Indra, to the best of my knowledge, 5 times he has kidnapped sacrificial horses. He misbehaved with Ahalya. So he has lied. So when we look at the Puranic Indra, 6-7 FIRs are there. If you look at Chandra, let's say Chandra Deva, who's moon. Chandra, as the Abhimani Devata in the Puranas, had a relationship with his guru's wife, Tara. Correct? On the other hand, Brihaspati, whose guru, had a relationship with his elder brother's wife, Utathya's wife, Mamata. Mamata? No, this Mamata is different. Some calm Mamata. Okay, this is calm Mamata. We know an uncalm Mamata. So, this Utathya's wife Mamata, Brihaspati had a relationship. Brihaspati's wife Tara, Brihaspati's student Chandra had a relationship. So, all these devatas have many FIRs. So, when Krishna says Deva Swabhavam, you should not think it is that Indra, Chandra. Deva means good natured. That's all. Because if we take this Deva to indicate Indra, then we will be reminded that Asura means Asuras. Prahlada is an Asura, extremely well mannered. Vibhishana is a Rakshasa, very well disciplined. Indra is a Deva, 6 FIRs. So, we should never be judgmental. We should not conclude Devas means good. The Devas we know in Puranas. Here Deva Shabdam means good natured. Asura Shabdam, Rakshasa Shabdam means that which the one who has Tamo Gunam and Rajo Gunam. Krishna says, since you meditate upon me with Characharam Chetana Achetanaatmakam as my body, as my Shariram, I am the Antaratma, the creation is in me. I am pervading in the creation. I have a repository of attributes like Audaryam, Gambhiryam, Sthairiam, Dhairyam, Satya Sankalpam. Hey Arjuna, you are a man of good nature. So he says, Mahatmanastu mam partha, Daivim Prakritimashutaha, Bhajantyananya manasaha. You think of nobody else. I know that Arjuna. So you are a Mahatma. Then Arjuna asked, am I the only Mahatma? No, Arjuna. In 2024, in the month of June, 13, 14, 15, whoever has listened in PGP hall, they are also Mahatmas. So do I have friends? Yes, he says, Ananya Manasaha Nyatva Bhutadim Abhyayam. So this completes 13 shlokas out of 34. So 13 by 34 is not even 50%. So I've got a few shlokas less. But still, even with a few seats less, we'll form a government. So, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, though it is less than 50%, even then you will get the full phalam of Navamodhyayam Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. So, Krishna's every word uttered has got 128 commentaries in Sanatana Dharma, in Sanskritam alone. So you have Adi Shankara, you have Sridhara Swami, Abhinava Gupta, Vedanta Deshika, Ramanuja, Yamunacharya, Madhvacharya, Vyasatirtha, Jayatirtha, Paishacha Bhashyam, Hanumanta Bhashyam, 128 commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. If Krishna says, immediately all media will write. Right? But if we read up all the 128, what you will get as a result is kichidi or confusion. Because there is a different take of what Krishna has said by different people. But coming in a parampara that follows a certain philosophy, certain commentaries, I have given you one angle. It doesn't mean the other angles are wrong or other commentaries are wrong. This is more possible, feasible, applicable, comprehensible, comprehensible, enjoyable, relishable, sweetable to me. Nothing more. Doesn't mean the others are less. So I have been given this unique opportunity, as I said on day 1, to speak on Navamodhyayam of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. Imagine, in Tamil they say, Tana Sernda Kuttam. You have all come only for the love that you have for Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism. And be proud and telling with full cognizance, this civilization or religion doesn't say that only a Subramanyam and a Sheshachari will receive moksha. No. Krishna's application of Bhagavad Gita is a Hussein in Saudi Arabia, a John in Scotland. All of them are children of Bhagavan. You may be from different religions. That is okay. It is your karma. You will be of different regions, religions, races. But at the end of the day, Krishna sees only the Jivatma. In Jivatma, he sees no difference. Our skin may be colored. I may be tall or short. It is the Vikriti is only in the body, not in the Atma. So the Atma within a Hussein, Atma within a John, an Atma within a Paul Dinakaran, An Atma within an Upanyasaka, everybody is equal before Paramatma. There is no gradation there. We come from a civilization that essentially says you don't have to essentially become a Hindu to get moksha. Wherever you are, whatever you are, your nature and goodwill will determine the mercy of the Lord. What is civilization? You don't have to change your name. You don't have to go to a registrar office and change your name and come. No, name is just for the body. What? Your nature has to change. That's all. So I am, as a speaker, I can't speak for others. I am no spokesperson. My takeaway point from Krishna is Paramatma for all, not for Malleshwaram, Basongudi, Matunga and R.K. Puram alone. He is Paramatma for everyone. Whether they regard him as Paramatma or not, he is the mother for everyone. He treats everyone equally. With this message, I've told you yesterday, I've authored a 2-volume book in plain English, like a novel on the Ramayana. And there have been a plethora of authors, beginning with the days of Right Honorable V.S. Srinivasa Shastri, C. Rajagopalachari, who was called Rajaji, Kamala Subramaniam, R.K. Narayan, to the modern authors like Amish Tripathi, Ashwin Sanghi, Ashok Banker and so on. So in that galaxy of authors, I have a name in the appendix and the footnote. I have authored Ramayanam now. Volume 1, 108 chapters, 92,000 words, 120 illustrations. That book is being released by HarperCollins. And that is being released the coming Saturday, 22nd of June in Chennai. Subsequently, you will get the books in Singapore. To receive your book, you need to pay through your Pay Now app and upload. If you scan this code, the process is very simple. As of now, we have about 50-55 people who have registered. I hope all of you will check this QR code is placed outside as well. Please do scan the QR code. Pay, upload that screenshot and you will receive the book in the first 7 days of July month. So please do register for the book and please read the book. See, by buying the book, you're doing no meherbani to me. I will be extremely grateful to you when you read that book and attempt the aptitude test on 22nd June 2025. Okay, there will be an aptitude test as well. You'll have 160 questions. No question leak, paper leak will happen. Okay, please do attempt. It is in English, so people across Bharatiya languages can read. People across communities, people across genders and ages can read. So please do take benefit of the book, buy the book, read and apply. Thank you so much. I now leave it to the MC, Kavitarika Simhai, Kalyana Gunashalini, Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Tomorrow, which is June 16th to June 21st, series of 6 days. I'm speaking in Tamil on 108 Divyadeshams in Naradagana Sabha, Chennai between 6 and 8 p.m. Free to all, open to all. If you have relatives who may have the interest to sit through a 2-hour lecture in Chennai, may kindly attend. And June 30th to July 30th for a series of 31 days. I'm giving 32 lectures in the US. If you have your kith and kin, your relatives and friends in the US, please ask them to attend. 7 days of Narayaniyam at Guruvayurappan Temple, New Jersey. 7 days of Bhagavata Saptaham in English for Mahalakshmi Temple, Boston. 7 days of Bhagavata Saptaham in English for Venkateshwara Swami Temple, Pittsburgh. 7 days of Bhagavata Saptaham English for Shiva Vishnu Temple in Lanham, Maryland. 1 day on Gayatri Ramayanam at the Mahalakshmi Temple, Delaware. 1 day in Tamil called Ayodhya in Maharani for Mahaperiyava Manimandapam in New Jersey. And 1 day on Draupadi in English for Indianapolis. So if you have your friends and relatives there, all of them are free lectures, no entry fee whatsoever. Since except one lecture, all the others are in English, people across Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Sindhi, Gujarati, Hindi, Bengali speaking communities can please ask, tell them he's after all not that bad.
Purvaka pranamaha.